With the debate over climate change, places like Miami, Florida, and New York City may witness significant reduction in their shorelines and even more extreme heat. Architectural Digest listed the most climate-resilient cities, with Denver taking the top spot. That's followed by Raleigh, Salt Lake City, Seattle, and Charlotte. Let's bring in Daniel Cusick. He's a climate reporter for E&E News by Politico. So, Daniel, what makes these cities so resilient when it comes to climate change?
Well, I think there are a couple of things. Number one, these cities are either at higher latitudes generally or higher elevations. That makes a big difference in terms of overall temperature. Also, the fact that these cities are inland, for the most part, make them inherently more safe or protected from hurricanes and floods, coastal storms, and that kind of thing.
So in these cities, can we expect to see population growth over the next couple of years?
Yes, I think so. In fact, if you look at the map, you'll see a number of these cities are already growing pretty fast. Denver is a very fast-growing city. I happen to be in Minneapolis. Growth is a little slower here, but as the climate warms, I think we're going to find these more temperate cities more popular.
Does this in any way explain why some people are heading north? I mean, there's some anecdotal reporting about how a lot of people are considering Alaska as a home base.
Yeah, there is some truth to that. I don't know that we're seeing a strong trend yet, but there certainly have been people moving from hot zones and expensive zones, wildfire zones in particular in the West, to the upper Great Lakes. Alaska, I think, is going to see some population growth, but that's an awfully long way to move for somebody who's in the continental United States and wants to get a few thousand miles as opposed to 5,000 miles away.
Right. So is there such a thing as climate change proofing your city?
Yes, there are a number of things that can be done. I guess the most important one is buildings, homes and buildings, making them more efficient, making them safer, fireproof, stormproof, elevating buildings on pilings in hurricane zones. All of those things help. But also things like planting trees and painting pavements a color other than dark black, which is what most of our roofing materials in the streets are.
Are a lot of cities taking that on board now, or is that still, I want to say the word fringe, but it's sort of more the exception than the rule?
Well, there are some pioneers in this. In fact, Phoenix, which of course has just come through one of the worst heat waves in history, is actually doing some of this work in some of its neighborhoods, painting streets gray, which is essentially intended to make the ground temperature, the felt temperature, less severe. And it seems to be working. It's still early, but it seems to be working.
Fascinating stuff. Daniel Cusick, thanks for your analysis.
You're welcome.